is going on in today's society, how we can become better as a people, what's going on with the government. That's talk about building a foundation. It's according to like owning our own corporation, and what I want to do about the gathering of the 144,000, I'm going to express a little bit about that, go into detail exactly what's going on, what's taking place out
there. The government is, they full of deceiving people, you know what I mean, and doing the Emancipation Proclamation when supposedly slavery was abolished throughout history, throughout wartime, throughout the 1900s, and then even now in 2010, slavery is still not abolished. You know what I mean? And then now you got slavery. It's not even so much a slavery with chains and whips and shackles. It's more slavery of the mind now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because back when Willie Lynch came from Virginia, which is Willie Lynch was a Caucasian man. He wrote a letter to all the slave owners back during those times where people were slaves physically. He told them to separate, telling all the slave owners that own slaves in the northern parts of the South and then the southern parts of the South, you know, all the way from Oklahoma and Tennessee and Memphis and all these other places down south, telling them what they should do in order to keep the black individual enslaved. You know what I'm saying? First of all, let's talk about what black means. You know, in the dictionary, black stands for something that's dark, something that's unclean, something that's evil. You know what I'm saying? But then they got in the dictionary, what does white stand for? What does white mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that means pure, it means holy, it means beautiful. All that is a deception. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All that is a deception.
Religion. Mm-hmm. You know, once you can get a person to think a certain way and to let down their guard and take away what is the truth, you know what I'm saying? You can dehumanize a man by having him believe something that's not real. Yeah, I call him Carcatine because he's a Caucasian. But this man named Constantine developed Christianity 325 years after the man named Christ died. The reason why he developed Christianity is because he knew that the so-called Caucasian man could not be accepted as a Hebrew Israelite. And he knew that the Hebrew Israelites was the chosen people of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? And we, the so-called black man, is the original Hebrew Israelite. It's written all through the Bible about who God's chosen people are. It speaks about how he chose Israel, how the lineage stems from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And how Jacob had 12 sons, and from the 12 sons came the 12 tribes of Israel, which developed the whole theory of the clock. There's 12 hours on the clock. There's 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night. So the Most High used one man.
We've influenced every part of this culture.
Here we are in 2010, and we're still talking about racism. We're still talking about overcoming. And the thing is that we have to realize the power isn't us. As a people, the little things can be done. The people standing out on the corner can make themselves productive by doing something, by gathering cans, by recycling bottles. Those little things will help and bringing back our society. The Mexican Americans came over in a flood in 1998. And look how far they progressed as a people. And we've been here for how many years? So it's all about production. It's all about your mind, how your mind is set to be productive in today's society. Yes, there's racism, and yes, there's calculated political things that keep us down. But the thing is, we have people in power that can help, but they are silent. They are afraid to lose their position, so they keep silent.
Yeah. So what we need to do is build our own corporations, build our own business. That's the best way to fight. Yeah. Because corporations really control the whole United States of America. Corporations control the world. Because they make so much money, they have so much money coming in, they can hire a politician to run better than they get more advertising, they get more dollars, they get a lot of professional attributes, and that's what we have to do as a people, is develop our own corporation. And that's what I'm trying to do. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I developed a corporation called Corporation 12 Sons, which is a corporation developed on biblical technology and science.
Like NAACP. NAACP awards. Awards for what? What are you getting awarded for? Because there's a lot of recession going on with the black community. It's a lot still going on that bases that have not been touched on. Everyone knows that there's problems going on with these police officers, and the blacks. But the NAACP is getting awards for what? For what reason? They're not touching bases on this. As a matter of fact, they staying their nose out of certain things because they want to keep their little ties with the government, and that's what it's all about. And also, I like to touch.
We have to plant whatever they tell us or give us the seed to put in the ground, and we were out there meant to go get it ourselves. Now, as far as the corporations like my brothers are saying, you know what I'm saying, we need to build corporations for young brothers and black people, to keep them off the street. You know what I'm saying? That's what they killing us by. It's, people ain't got nothing to do, so they killing their own people to try to succeed, and that's where the confusion is. They put the TV, the radio, the music to influence the young brother's mind to change them.
When it comes down to this, it's like everybody is being poisoned by the lack of money. One, they get more money, willing to do whatever they got to do whatever they got to get. You know what I'm saying, to survive. But at the same time, it's like this. There's no corporation that's helping the black society. So therefore, what Brother Quan said, he said a corporation is what's needed. And not just that, a corporation that's going to help the black community.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, and this is what I get into as far as like developing your own corporation and coming up with your own business and building your own banks. I don't know exactly what time it was, but years back in Chicago, there was something that was called Black Wall Street, and brothers came together. They started building banks. They started building their own economy. They were running their own government. Everything was flourishing. Everything was nice, built. I mean, the architecture and everything was built professionally. They was doing everything by the book. They wasn't cheating on their taxes. And the so-called Caucasian man, the FBI and the CIA came and blew up the buildings. So that leads me